During my first year of university, I was a really sheltered, quiet, reserved person. Even though I had traveled a lot in the US because of my father's military background, I really didn't see very much of the world. And especially during that time, I really didn't do very much. School was my life. All that I did was go to class, study in the library, go home, and repeat. And it was okay for me at first, but then there just got to a point where I really wanted to do more. And then one day I was talking to a peer advisor who was tabling outside from the library, and the conversation that I had with her reminded me of how much I'd wanted to study abroad and kind of started making me think about how much more there was in the world outside of the US. So because of this, I started to research different programs, especially those that involved coursework with biology and psychology, since biology is my major and psychology was my intended minor at the time. But while this was happening, the people around me were trying to tell me about places that I was supposed to go, i.e. Europe, and that if I wanted to go anywhere else, it'd be crazy, that I would never like anywhere else. And I really did not like hearing that, so that brought out this really stubborn side of me, I guess you could say. So I started looking into programs solely in Asia and the Middle East. And it was because of this that I was able to find the program that I ultimately chose, of the International Summer School at Boğaziçi University in Istanbul, Turkey. I chose this program because of the coursework that it offered, as well as the fact that it was well off the beaten path and that it was the site where three great empires were. I'm a huge history buff, so that was a real big draw for me personally. And while I was there, I was absolutely blown away and humbled by everything that I saw there, because I was presented with a really different way of living and thinking, and it was just an opportunity for tremendous personal growth for me. I was able to really appreciate how much more there was, and I feel like it's really made me more sympathetic and aware of the people that don't necessarily live close to the US. It was also a great way for me to really expand upon my coursework, since the courses that I was able to take over there aren't really offered here in UC Merced or even in the US typically. And the teachers that I was able to learn from were truly incredible. Some of them were even actively working with the government to try to make policies. So being able to network with them and talk to them and learn from their stories was really, really humbling, to say the least. And then ever since then, I've been a really huge advocate for studying abroad, especially in countries and places where you wouldn't normally go, because that's not where you're supposed to go for studying abroad. And I really want to encourage people, especially in STEM, to go abroad, because it can seem really daunting and impossible, but it's a great way to really expand not only upon your academics and your resume, but also yourself as well. And it's a really rewarding and program, definitely worth it. And if you have the opportunity to study abroad, you definitely should.